What's up, guys? Welcome to the Top Shelf Show. My name is Dustin Kinnan. We are so excited to have you here. On this show, we talk to high-quality entrepreneurs and business owners about life, about family, about work, about goals and dreams and everything that goes into being an entrepreneur. We are so excited to have you here. We hope you walk away with some incredible insight into their lives and their stories and some inspiration for your business and your brand and achieving the goals that you have for your life. Thank you so much for checking it out, and we'll see you in there.
Hi guys, welcome to Shelf Life. So I don't even know what episode this is, but we have Madi with Greenville Doula Besties.
Hey.
So we'll talk more in a second, but tell me about Greenville Doula Besties. Like, what do y'all? I mean, obviously doula, but like, what do y'all do?
What do we doula?
Yeah, what do you doula? There you go. Yeah.
we do a lot of things. It does need to be a sticker. We first and foremost are birth and postpartum doulas. We're there for families, but recently we've been able to expand into some other ways to build that village of support for our families. So we teach childbirth education. We encapsulate placentas. We have fitness classes. I'm trying to think what else. We are also adding this year postpartum chef options.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yasmin, who's joined our team, she has a background in Mediterranean food and she makes some incredible stuff. I actually got to try it because we did a test run a week or two ago. And I just wanted to take it all home with me, like the lemon soup and the chicken and potatoes. And she made these, I need to find the name of it, but these really, really yummy, like sesame seed bars.
Okay.
And anyway, she's putting together like an entire menu for our families that they can add on, and she'll come and to their home and,
and cook for them. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like come and cook for them, and then also like fresh food for that day, and then leave you food for like the rest of the week, and things that you can put in your freezer, and it's just something that is really nice.
To
have. So yeah, I really love our gals and like all the different talents they have, and that we can kind of put it all together.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the coolest thing about it is like when I think doula, right? Like I think like like education before birth, and then like birth, and then like checking up on them afterwards. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that I've ever heard of a doula that does. I promise I'm not trying to do the DO thing. It just happens. But like I don't know that I've heard of a doula that like of a team that like does all of that. But like what's cool is like those are all needs. Like those are all things that like so did you, when you started Greenville Doula, because how long has it been around?
Oh my gosh, I think it's been something like 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 years ago, when you had like the hey, I'm doing this, right?
Yeah.
Like, was that the plan all along to have like this kind of holistic approach, or has it been kind of like as you guys have done it, it's like, oh, wow, people really need that. Like that'd be cool if we did that.
It's like a yes and a no.
Okay.
I am a big dreamer, and I definitely was like, I wanted to do all the things for my families, but also one, I never saw myself becoming like an owner of an agency. It still feels weird to say that. It's more of like a safe place for people to, I don't know. Anyway, I never saw myself like being in charge of so much. Yeah. And like growth seemed cool, but more in the aspect of like helping our families. And I was like, well, I'd love to offer them this, and maybe I'll take this training. I was trying to take everything on myself, and I kind of found like my niche. And then just more and more doulas were like, hey, I really like what you have going on here. Can I join you?
Okay.
Why do I reinvent the wheel when we can join forces and be better together? And so like our theme in our team and with our families is you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
And I think that has been really, really cool. Life has been such a beautiful teacher, because I don't think any of this is what I had imagined, but it is so perfect and so exciting. So yeah, it's been one step at a time. Each doula who's joined our team, each service that has been offered, it's been like a serendipitous thing of, hey, what if we did this? And just kind of figuring out a little bit as we go, which I think, doing everything all at once would be too much. So slow, steady growth. And it's really nice to be able to offer something like that is full rounded like this to families. So you don't have to call 6 different people to fill your home with the needs that you have in this like season of life that's so important.
Yeah. Well, that as someone who well, I didn't have the baby, but as someone like who's involved in that, like it's a lot. I mean, it's like honestly, I felt like every day we were like, there's like these 6 things that we need to do. Oh, and by the way, after these 6, there's like 12 more, and then just outside of like the things to do, it's like, oh, hey, like we kind of like got to get like our heads around the fact that like, hey, there's going to be a little person around here pretty soon, so being able to like kind of like take that off their plate where it's like, hey, yes, you still got to do the other things, right? Like maybe you still are going to have to do these other things, but hey, listen, these things that like we can help with, right? That we can do. Yeah, let's do that. You're not doing it alone.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay. And that's like, and thinking in the realm of like things that people, I don't know, Google because they're trying to find someone that does that. You know what I mean? Like the range of things that you guys offer, like I feel like they're so niche, you know what I mean? Which is good. It's a great thing. Yeah. Like they're so niche that it's like, I feel like it would take a lot of time to find a really quality person that does all of those things if you had to find them all individually. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So having like one spot where it's like, hey, like you can come here and bam, 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 all these like the 4 or 5. I think you listed like 5 things, but like 4 or 5 things, the range of things that you guys do. Hey, listen, you can just come to us, and rather than having to go and find these 4 or 5 like niche things, like, listen, we're just going to help you. And I feel like there's also a comfort thing with that too, because they're just working with you guys versus like, I got to work with person A as my doula, and then person B for my encapsulation, and then I have person C for like ahead of having the child. Like, I want to make sure that I'm like in shape for it physically, but then also that I know how that's going to happen. Like that, like rather than having to like you're almost the middle person between like 6 people that are pulling you in different directions. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're just going to work with this team, and they're going to handle it. That's so cool.
Thank you.
So how big is the team now?
Okay, so there's 6 of us now.
That's dope. That's
right?
So cool.
I never could have imagined, but I'm so excited. And each of them are so uniquely wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun getting to know and expanding that sisterhood of connection with other doulas. I actually was only planning on adding 1 or 2 this year. And we put out that we wanted to hire, and I had 14 women apply. And it's That's really cool because not only are we like serving the families of the upstate, but I feel like this is transformed into a safe place for doulas too. Yeah. Because a lot of doulas feel like they have to go it alone, or there's just not a lot of great options for pursuing doula work out there. And a lot of the story was the same with every woman who interviewed with me. It was, I've been doing this alone for a long time. I love pouring into my families, but it's a lot of work and I don't want to do it alone anymore. Yeah. And so I worked really hard. I wish I could have taken them all, but we grew by 3 this year.
It's okay. The rest will be there when you guys double next year or something.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it has been really beautiful, like getting to know their stories and what motivates them to do doula work. And I feel like it's relit the fire that I have too, because now I feel like my purpose is shifting in growing into not just turning towards our families, but pouring into doulas and creating this path that's more sustainable, because doula work is hard, and a lot of people do it for a couple of years and then they burn out because it's on call work and it's hard on families and running a business and having a young family and just all the things. So I'm really proud that we can offer a safe place for families and for doulas, which is cool.
Well, and then I love what you said about like kind of like shifting, if you will, from like just pouring into the families to like also pouring into the doulas, like, because you said that wasn't the plan initially. Like you weren't planning on having like kind of this bigger operation. It's kind of just serendipitously just kind of almost as the need has been there, like that person's like, oh yeah, by the way, like I do that. Yeah, that's really, I love that. Okay, so jumping all the way back, did you always want to be a doula? Did you always want to be involved in doula work? Like what made you want to be?
I always wanted to serve others.
Okay.
There was a period of time where I was trying to figure out in what way that would be.
Yeah.
I've done all kinds of things. I've been a farmhand. I've worked with
You've
kids.
been a farmhand?
Yes.
Okay. Is that why the cow was like, oh my gosh,
yes.
like, yes.
I love it. Well, no, I've driven tractors. I've worked in the food industry. I have worked in retail. And before I became a doula, I was a behavior technician for kids with autism.
Oh, cool.
So like I've done a little bit of everything. And then when I finished my degree, it was in exercise and wellness. I was like, well, what do I do with this? I really don't want to be a personal trainer and I don't really want to educate a company. And my last semester of school, I really invested into a women's health class. Mm-hmm. And it's something that really sat with me as far as like what type of education women have access to. Yeah. And it kind of lit a fire, but I didn't know where to direct it. And then I learned about what doulas are. And I was like, oh my gosh, someone made a job for me. This is perfect.
Yeah.
And it was another one of those things where I was like, oh, it'll happen eventually. And I just was like, I need to get a real job. And I started going down that path. And then 6 months in, I looked at my husband and I was like, I know you're still in school but I want to become a doula and we need to do this. We need to figure out how to make this happen. And that's kind of the end of it.
So was that 4 years ago then, that conversation?
Yeah, that conversation started in 2020.
Okay.
I graduated in 2020, which, I mean, that was a crazy year
in
and of itself.
Graduate.
Yeah, it was rough. But I did it, finished, and I started working at an obstetric office. Mm-hmm. And I was answering phones of women who had real concerns every day, and it just kind of made that fire burn brighter. And I realized I couldn't wait 5 years to become a doula. I needed to do it now. And that was it. So
the 5 years to be a doula, was the plan to, I guess, like quote unquote, like take it a little bit slower?
I was gonna work for 5 years. I was trying to be practical, right? Sure. Work for 5 years, get my husband through engineering school, and then do this when we had like the financial bandwidth. When everything was perfect. That's how we always plan things, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
When everything is just right.
Yeah.
And it just really didn't happen that way. I was so drawn to it, and I was just seeing so many potholes in women's care in general. And I just was like, I think I'm needed now and I need to figure out how to make this happen. And I was really grateful that William was on board. And it was not easy, but it is really cool sitting where I am today and looking at where it started. Yeah. And realizing all the moments where I had no idea it could be what it is now. Yeah. And glad that I stuck it out. So, yeah.
Well, what's cool is, so hearing you talk about, I mean, I think it was actually the first thing you said there was like, hey, what, did you know you want to do it? And I think the first thing you said was, I always knew that I wanted to help other people. And what's cool is like hearing you say that, and then like, now with where you guys are, it's like, okay, hey, now you get to help the families, but then you're also getting to help these other people who are helping. Well, they're helping the families, but you're also getting to help them in a way that like, not a lot of people get to do that. You know what I mean? Like when they're in a, when you work in an industry, like it's really cool to get to a point where like not only are you serving quote your clients, well not quote, they are your clients, serving the clients, but then also getting to like pour into other people that do what you like love to do.
Yeah Well, I feel like it's also like deepened over time of what helping others really means, because I'm in a phase where I'm mentoring a few doulas, and it's kind of bringing up a lot of this development that I didn't realize had happened over the past 4 years. But one of them came to me and she was like, I just really want to help people. I want to help people. And we had a whole conversation about that of like, where does this need really come from? And how do we want to help people? Do we really want to be reaching down and looking down? Or do we want to be reaching across and lifting people up? And so I feel like at the beginning, it was like, I just want to help people and educate them, and education is power. And all of those things are true. But I feel like the way that I help people is through giving them the tools to experience and be in charge of their birth. And that part is really cool. Not just coming in to like save the day, but actually feeling like we're giving people things that they can take with them for the rest of their lives. And feel like they were heard and like they know what's happening. I think that's priceless, especially in such a crazy time of like, it's just 9 short months, you know, you're pregnant, you're like, there's a whole new vocabulary and I have to birth this kid and then I have to be a parent, and giving people the tools to feel like they're deeply a part of that. And you're just there at their back, pushing them up the hill. That is my favorite, like really feeling like treating everyone as equals and giving them the tools to have what they need.
Well, I feel like there's an empowerment element to that, because it's like, rather than, because if you quote solve the problem for them, right? Like that, cool, yes, the problem got solved, but they didn't get to experience solving it. And I think there's something in the solving of the problem that like is just really powerful, you know what I mean? Especially when they're in something, when they're in a season and in a moment like that, where like there's nerves, there's like, hey, especially if it's like your first time, because it's like, I've never had a kid before, you know? So like giving, I love that. I like the empowering where it's like, hey, rather than us just like, hey, we're just going to come in and like, we're going to swoop in and save the day and we're the hero and the whatever. It's like, no, hey, like you're the hero. We're just going to help you. Like, we're just going to give you the, what you need to like, I don't want to say like finish your quest, but kind of,
to trek up the hill.
Well, I always think, so the mental image I always have, like, and this just shows how much of a nerd I am, is I always think Lord of the Rings, where it's like, like you, like they're Frodo and you're Gandalf, you know what I mean? Like the goal, you don't want to come in and be Frodo. You don't want to come in, like, you're not coming in to like take the One Ring to Mordor and save the world. You're coming in to like equip Frodo to, I'm such a nerd.
It's okay. My husband loves Lord of the Rings and he watches it like multiple times a year. So I'm very familiar. Yes, the extended, always the extended version.
It's so much better. No, I mean the theatrical is great, but the extended is just a whole nother thing. But like you want to come in and like equip them and be able to help them kind of get where they're going, but then also for them to, I mean, there's also like, you want to give them the opportunity to learn. I don't want to say learn the lessons they're going to learn along the way, but honestly, because I feel like when you go through something like that, like you kind of find out something about yourself, you know? You
do. It's a self-discovery. It's an unfolding. And honestly, for me, I would much rather hear, hey, I did this because I learned this than, oh, you saved me. Like, I love helping, but I also love hearing, like, a week or two ago, I had a client reach out and he was like, and it was a dad. Oh, no. And he was like, I just was thinking of your childbirth class when we were in the NICU, and I felt confident enough to talk to our nurses, to ask questions. Yeah. And he was like, it saved our family because I knew what to do. Yeah. That stuff is what like gives me chills because those are the things, because I can't be everywhere at once. Doulas can't be everywhere, but we really want to be there as much as we can and make sure our families feel safe when we're not. Yeah. Well, that and like, and I know that was our experience too, where there was the, like, don't get me wrong. It was cool having you guys like at the hospital. Like, that's cool. But honestly, I think my favorite thing working with you guys was like the educational ahead of time, because then it was like, okay, hey, I don't think you're ever like 100% prepared going into it. It's true. But I felt way more prepared after working with you guys than before, you know? Yes. Like before it was, because honestly, before it was just like, we're gonna go to the hospital and have a baby. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, question mark, okay. Happens every day. Yeah. Something will happen. We don't know how. Exactly. You know, versus like, okay, hey, so, you know, this is a super spark notes, but hey, you know, like when you go there, this is gonna happen, and then this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. Well, when at this point, if there's this, then you could do this, you could do this. And then I think the other part of that was like,
these are your rights, but yeah, I mean, like, this is like, these are
helping you see the pathways forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, this is okay. Like, it's okay to ask these questions. It's okay to do this. It's okay to, like, because when you go into it, like, you got a million things going on, you know what I mean? And a million things going through your head anyway. But then also, like, having somebody who had, like, I don't know, that I'm gonna ramble if I keep going, but like I feel like, I know for me, that was one of the, and Elizabeth said the same thing. It's like, that was one of the most empowering things, where it's like knowing, like, it wasn't just having somebody in the room, but it was like, hey, even if they're not in the room, we don't feel like we're just like, when's the doula coming back? Because, like, I don't know how to do, like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, it wasn't, it wasn't like, hey, we're just, if she's there, awesome. But if she's not there, we're screwed. It's like, hey, if she's there, cool, awesome, great, tons of fun, yes. But if she's not there, we're still going to be okay. You know what I mean? And there's like, and I feel like that's, I don't know, that was my experience of it. Like, that was, I think, the most valuable thing, Oh,
I'm so grateful to hear that. Yeah. Seriously. And it's really cool because, like, we're there for all of labor, but then people forget there's a lot that happens after the baby's born too. And we're home sleeping. We've been with you for 2 or 3 days and, no yes, offense, we can come help, but we got to sleep at some point. And, I've found that those are some moments where dads often feel like they have a lot to use those skills and to navigate, baby and mom and trying to figure all that out. So I'm really glad that helped.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how many births have you guys been involved in?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Okay.
I have been to almost 80.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
In over 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Over the last, I started the journey 4 years ago, probably over the last 3.
3. Okay. Yeah.
And I want to say, collectively as a group, we've probably been to 150, 200.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Something like that.
Yeah. At some point, y'all are going to count it up, and then it's going to be like, oh my gosh, like, this is, you know what I mean? Yeah. But, like, what's so cool is, like, and what I love is that, like, this isn't like, hey, like, okay, great, we're wrapping up. How many people did we get to help? Like, because honestly, I feel like y'all are just getting started. You know what I mean? Especially with, like, the growth you guys have seen and expanding and offering these new things, and, like, so it's just like, this is really, really cool, But, like, being able to, like, have that level of impact where it's, I don't know, that's awesome. Okay. Now, if you, so if you're sitting down, like, with expecting parents, right? What is that? Because what I realized is, like, me and you were talking doula, and, like, 'cause we both have. Well, I mean, you have way more experience with it, but we both have, like, some level of experience with it. What does that process look like if someone is, like, they're expecting and they're like, hey, somebody mentioned the word doula, and I was like, hula? You know what I mean? Like, just puns today, apparently. But, like, what does that look like? What does that process look like working with you guys?
So usually people get a 20-minute call with me right off the bat. They go to our website, schedule a call, and that really is so that I can look people in the eyes and be there and answer their questions. I feel like it's a lot more personable. So I take that time to answer their questions, walk through our services, and also to get a feel for what they really want. I've become like our doula matchmaker at Besties. And so it's not just what do you want and don't want, but what kind of personality and presence do you want in the room? What matters to you? What kind of people do you normally get along with? Yeah. And then I'm like deducting in my brain, okay, I think so-and-so from our team would be like the best fit. Yeah. And it's really fun for me too, because they come back and they meet with them in person afterwards and they're like, you were right. They are the perfect fit for me. And I really take a lot of pride in that because I know that I can't be everything for everyone, but I love our team and they are really wonderful gals. And so people call in, they talk with me for 20 minutes. I send them all the details via email, and then they'll meet with a doula in person. And if it's a good fit, they sign. We get them in prenatal visits right away. Whether they sign up for classes, we just get everything scheduled, and then they get to just enjoy their experience.
Yeah. Well, and then being able, like, I love what you said about the, like, connecting them with, quote, like, the best person for them on the team. Because I feel like the interpersonal aspect of it is huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where, like, the lead up to the day, like, having somebody that you feel, like, comfortable and confident talking with, and, like, you just, like, it's honestly, it's a vibe check. It's like,
it is.
Hey, like, do you, like, yes, like, their knowledge and their experience and their yes, but also, like, do you vibe with this person? Like, do you want to, like, quote, like, well, do you want to hang out with them? You know, like, is there someone, like, you would want to spend time around? Yeah.
That matters so much. I think we discount mother and honestly father parental intuition so much, because honestly, I've been around so many birth workers at this point, and yes, credentials are great. It's good to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But if the vibe check is not there, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Because women in a birthing experience, it is primal. It is, you need to feel safe.
Yeah.
And that matters. That is paramount. And that's why I want everyone to meet their doulas in person and to make that check. Yeah.
Well, and then, okay, so that's kind of the like onboarding, if you will, kind of getting started with you guys. And then now, is there I know the answer to this, but, like, for other people, is there, like, do they have to talk to you at, like, is there, like, a cutoff date? Like, hey, we have to work with you guys, you know, at least 6 months out from the day, or like your due date? Like how does that kind of play in?
So, I mean, month of is really hard to do. We can do it. We have done it, but usually in very special circumstances. Sure. Ideally 3 to 8 months before they're due.
Sure. Yeah. Perfect world, they're going in, like, they find out they're pregnant, and then, like,
and they're calling us.
They're working with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends. I mean, so sometimes I really believe that all the women and families that we're meant to be there for, we are, because I've definitely had months where I book 8 months out. Yeah. And then there's 1 month that just stays open. And no matter what I do, it just stays open. And I'm like, okay, who's this for? Who's this for? And then, you know, last year I had someone reach out who had a brain tumor during their pregnancy. And they were kind of not late in the game, but, like, they were really trying to find the right doula for them. And they needed someone who was qualified and equipped and passed the vibe check. And usually you have to, and available. And it was like, you usually have to plan really far in advance to get someone like that. And I happened to have an opening for them. Dope. And it was, like, the most magical experience. Like, we jumped in head first together very quickly, and they had an incredible birth experience. And it was so cool to be part of their journey. So yeah, ideally, yes, reach out to us quickly. We fill up, but also don't be afraid to reach out if it's last minute, because I feel like a lot of times those serendipitous connections just happen. Yeah. And we always are down for that.
Yeah. Well, then thinking, like, so there's onboarding, and then there's the prenatal visits, and then so I know you mentioned before, like, there's the empowerment aspect of, like, hey, like, I want to give you the tools, not just save the day, right? How does education work into that?
So a lot of it has to do with giving parents their first exposure and comfortability with the topics, and giving them the tools to know where and how to research it. Okay. And so anyone who is a first-time parent, or someone who is planning a second or third birth after some births that didn't go as they had hoped, or trying to go unmedicated for the first time, I recommend always that they do childbirth education class and a doula. Okay. And I've found that combination, statistically, like, they have the best success, because they know what's going on. We can't speak for you or your partner and say, well, this is what they want. Well, can I really say that? Because I don't live inside your body. Yeah. But educating, doing, like, the 6-week series, or we sometimes will do a one-off, like, birth prep Saturday. Nice. And those give people the exposure to what is AROM and SROM, artificial rupture of membranes, spontaneous.
See, I didn't know that.
You know, what is be? What's, continuous or intermittent monitoring? What are they? We're not there to give medical recommendations, but we're there to be like, hey, these are your options. Here's the education. Mm-hmm. You and your partner have to be on the same page on like what you want out of this. Yeah. If this, then this, and then we're there to back you up.
Yeah.
And that's really how that piece works.
Yeah. So it's funny that you say the constant or the intermittent monitoring. I had no idea that was even a thing.
Yeah.
So had we not worked with you guys, there is every chance that, for those of you watching at home, continuous monitoring is where the mom is like hooked up to a machine wired in for like heartbeat and pulse and all that kind of stuff. Intermittent monitoring is it's like a detachable version of that. And they I can't remember if it's on all the time or not. It's not all the time.
Intermittent is when they check like once every 30 minutes or every 60. Every hospital has like a different policy on how long that is, but every so often they're checking heart tones instead of being strapped in all the time.
Yeah. And then the strap. Okay. So sorry. You would think I'd remember this.
No, you were like on a roll. You're doing great.
Other things. Yeah. And then there's something about once you're the continuous, it's like once you're wired up to the continuous, you basically have to stay on the continuous, or you don't have to, but it's like,
yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much, right?
I mean, kind of like it just stays there unless you choose not to.
Oh, okay. There was some...
But I think you're thinking of the mobile monitor.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
I was like, okay,
I remember
like it's scratching the brain.
Yeah.
Yes, the mobile monitor is where it's like a purse that you can wear. Yes. And so you're continuously monitored.
Yes.
But you're able to move around.
Okay, there we go. See, that's... Hire a doula, guys. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. I would have never known that. Like that would have been something. I think we would have just gone into it, and we kind of just would have gone with whatever the nurse, the doctor, whoever we talked to first was like, oh, okay, we're gonna hook you up, we're gonna whatever, and not even know that was an option. And the reason, and like, so that's great, but Dusty, why does that matter? Because that was a really big thing for Elizabeth, is she didn't want to be like stuck in a bed. Like she wanted to be able to get up and move around and walk around and do things. And it's a lot easier to do when you have a mobile monitor versus like being like wired in where you're like hooked up, right? Yeah. Anyway, all that to say, like I love that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's a real quality of life is kind of a more overarching term, but I feel like there's a real like quality of experience, like with that, because then like is it the end of the world? Are you still going to deliver the baby if you're wired in versus being mobile? Yes. However, the experience of that could look a lot different. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Experience matters. I mean, they've said that doulas improve birth experiences by 31%.
Yeah.
Of satisfaction. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that tracks.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like being able, like, and then I kind of said this before, but like the empowerment aspect of like, it's not necessarily like, hey, we have this person that's with us the absolute entire time and they're just taking care of everything for us and whatever. There is some of that for sure, but there's like that, like advocacy aspect. But then there's also like, hey, even if I'm not in the room, it's okay because like we've talked about this and we've gone through like the if this happens, you could do this or you could do this and this is what this, and honestly, even some of it is like this is what this means. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when like the doctor and the nurse and the whoever is like blah, 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 and you're like, and it sounds like the teacher from Charlie Brown, and you have no idea what any like you're like what like back up like. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like you can already go into those conversations and go into that kind of knowing some of the terminology and kind of what they're going to talk about. And like, it's just, I don't know, there's a real like ease with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I mean, it's still, you know, obviously like a big life moment and there's still like, there's always going to be nerves, but you can go into it with a lot more of an ease because it's like, hey, I don't feel like I'm just jumping in the deep end. I feel like we got in the shallow end and like we're still gonna go to the deep end. That's happening, but like we're gonna like ease our way into it. We're not just like cannonballing and just kind of hoping for the best, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do want to shift a little bit because what I love, like one of the cool things, is being a like women-owned business. And I think I don't remember if we were recording or not, but you're kind of making, which I don't know if you wanted to talk about this, but you're making some moves, like to a new space, and with it being like a collective, like women-owned businesses, like what, and I guess it doesn't have to be specific to like women who want to or own businesses, whatever. But like, as somebody who maybe maybe you do own a business, but as somebody who owns a business, who maybe like didn't plan to, you know what I mean, or at least didn't to the scale that it is now, right? What, like, do you have any advice for people? Like, do you have anything like you would want, like, you know, Maddie of 5 years ago to know or anything?
Invest in yourself.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I would say that. I've worked with a female-based business coach for 3 years.
You mean Sarah from
yes.
Shine CEO?
I love her.
Yeah.
She's great.
Awesome.
I worked with her a long time, and there was a period of time where I was trying to do business alone.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure it out. I was networking. I was doing a bunch of things, which is fine. There's just a learning curve there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not realize how closely tied, and you can fill in the blanks I'm speaking like as a woman-owned business owner.
Sure.
But I feel like my business's success is greatly tied to my physical and mental and emotional well-being. And so I have,
as a male business owner, I would agree with that. Like,
fantastic.
110%.
And so it's like this whole idea of like, I do need to get groceries that nourish me, even if money is tight, or I need to invest in a business coach, even if it feels like a stretch. Really, it's not so much having a business coach, but having someone who believes in you, who is intimately involved with your business and who knows the next steps.
Yeah.
That's the part that was really valuable to me with Sarah. And then that expanded past business coaching into maybe I need to have more regular massages. Maybe I need to do certain things, because when I feel relaxed and comfortable and flowy, our business explodes. And those are the things that feel frivolous when you're starting out and you're like, okay, I have to like do everything just right and just take a step at a time. And you're trying to focus on not wasting resources. And honestly, sometimes you have to spend money to make money. It sounds really, really cheesy, but sometimes it's like investment. It's an investment in yourself. I mean, we invest in master's degree, doctorate's degrees, and
I didn't, but yeah,
some people do. Well, and in my case, I got a bachelor's, and then my family, I was like, gosh, this is like running a business is scary and expensive. And they were like, well, this is your master's degree. And I was like, oh yeah, that tracks. And then the cool thing about this one is it actually starts making you money instead of, you get out of school and you're like, all right, I got to get a job now.
Yeah.
It's like you already have a job and you've been pouring into it for years. And that's the learning process. And that part has been really cool. Yeah. But yeah, if I had to go back to younger Maddie, it would be invest in yourself, because the first 3 months I invested in myself and I did something that seemed too expensive and too scary. I 5 times the business. And so it's continued to grow more sustainably since then. But that first 3 months of, I had someone who believed in me, I had a direction, I had support. It mattered. Yeah.
Well, and like being able to have, so what you don't know, which is I'm smiling internally, is like this would be 4th episode, assuming they're all chronological. You'd be the 4th person, like the 4th episode.
Sounds good.
And literally that idea of like, hey, have a coach, have somebody who is on the outside helping you, have like that has honestly different ways of saying it, but like that has been when I asked that question of like, hey, like what would you like, what's a piece of advice you'd give to another business owner? That every time. And it's so true, because it's like, I feel like as a small business owner, you're like, oh my gosh, especially when you're starting out and it's like, I don't have a lot of money, but I sure got a lot of bills, and it's like
and a lot of passion
and a lot of, well, yeah. When it's like like, I'm going to kind of tie in something you said before. The space that you're going into, like the reason the person did it is because like all of these women-owned businesses, like they all have this need for this common communal workspace or like meeting space and stuff. But then also, I think the term you used was, we're a bunch of bleeding hearts and we want to help people, which I love.
Yes.
And I like that. And I feel like you don't go into something as like intimate and potentially emotionally exhausting as doula work unless you really actually want to help people.
Yes.
It's not like it's not a like, you know what I really want to do today, you know, like it's something you have to have a real calling for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the kind of tying that in with this, like when you have like the passion and you have the like, hey, I really want to do this thing, I really want to see it succeed, there's emotional and it's emotional investment, but there's like an emotional like risk there of like, hey, I'm like, if this thing doesn't go well, I'm not just going to shrug this off. Like this is going to hurt, you know?
Yes.
So it's like, hey, I really want to take it carefully. Hey, I really want it, you know? And being able to have that investment and have somebody who's outside looking in practically is awesome, because it's like they can see the things that you don't, or maybe you're a little too like emotionally close to, and they're just seeing 40,000 foot view. They're seeing like you're seeing the trees, they're seeing the forest, if you will.
They are. Well, and also I think a lot of people think they need niche coaching for like their specific
Honestly,
line
I
of
did
work.
for the longest time.
And I think it's valuable for a period of time, but one of the things that was really beautiful about having someone who is very like business oriented is she would ask me about something and I'd be like, well, that's just what all the doulas do. And she's like, why?
Yeah. Why? Well, all the doulas don't need to do it.
Why do we do it that way? And it's not even anything bad. It was just like, you know, you could do this. This is what women in this sector of business do. And I was like, oh, that's actually a great idea. So like being able to expand and diversify ideas and to improve upon what we're already doing. Yeah. The bird's eye view is everything. Yeah.
Well, and then kind of the other part of what you said of like that somebody who believes in you, you know what I mean? And it's somebody who like it wouldn't be, I mean, you want the team to believe in you too. So it's not necessarily like they have to be like outside your organization, but it's knowing that like, hey, like I meet with my coach every Wednesday morning. And I love that, because it's like, I know that every Wednesday, even if I come in, call it not upset, but like call it like down, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like this thing didn't get done as fast as I wanted to, or like, you know, I had a couple like bad days and just was just wildly unproductive, or there was this project I was hoping that was going to happen. Whatever the thing is, right? I'm going to have somebody there that's going to look at me. And sometimes I'm sure there's going to be hey man, we need to do better about this. Like we need to get this done. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely a like edification.
And accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely that. But then it's also somebody who like, hey, you can do this. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like I know it seems really tough right now because you're looking at this really big tree, but trust me, I'm looking at the forest and we're going in a good direction here. You know? I love that. So what's next for you guys? Like,
well, I mean, I kind of started out with it. I mean, we're moving into a new office, so that we can have like a community of women-based businesses and events, and we're going to be hosting more motherhood panels. We just had one recently, and it was just honestly super needed. So many moms were like, can we come do this every month? And I was like, wow, yes, I will put it on if that's what you guys want. Yeah. Birth photography, postpartum chef.
That's okay. So you didn't miss the photography.
I did. Sorry.
Love. I mean, obviously, you know, nature of what I do, it's great. But I think I saw that. Where did I see it? It was social media.
Yasmin, she's a photographer as well. She's a chef and a photographer.
Oh, is it the same person?
It is.
Oh my gosh, she's awesome.
She is really awesome.
Never lose her. But like what I love so much about that is because like I think I've only ever done, and I actually wasn't birth. It was like right after birth.
Yes.
And that's the only time I've ever like shot anything in and around birth. And like it was for like really good friends of mine, and so it was really cool being a part of that. But it's definitely one of those things where like it's incredible and needed, and like it's a really just beautiful thing to be able to give people, where again they don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they're going to take like cell phone pictures or whatever, but they've got these really nice photos. It's like this really just
sweet memories.
Exactly. You know, and so that's awesome. But then having somebody who's like uniquely qualified for it, but then circling in, because I know this is something huge from like doing photo video stuff, especially when it's more like intimate things like that, having somebody that you really vibe with, that really understands, you know, that you maybe that you're also working with as who is your doula or is like part of that doula team, who's like somebody that you like you vibe with and you trust, and you like, so that way it's not, I mean, it's a really like, whether it's a home birth, a hospital, whatever, it's a really intimate situation going on, you know? So having somebody that's a part of that who can get you those photos and get you that, like, to be able to like look back on and like, and kind of not remember, because you're going to remember it, but like look back on and kind of like relive that moment. I love that, because I'll honestly, like, do I possess the technical skills to do that job? Yes, but I wouldn't want to do it, honestly. Because, and it's not that I like wouldn't want to be there for those families. Yeah. It's because I know that honestly, me coming in as like this outside photographer who's not been a part of that like pregnancy journey with them, like I might, depending on the couple, I might be able to make it work personality wise and like comfortability and like vibe wise, maybe, but I might not know that it's actually going to be that case until I'm like in the room, and by that point we're a little past that, you know what I mean? Sorry, rambling.
No, it's okay.
But I love that. Like,
well, and a lot of people don't realize that there's a different technique style and a birth etiquette for photography. Yep. Even to when and how you use flash, where we have to balance what affects the birth space and what looks pretty. Yeah. That's a big one. Yeah. And so it's nice to have someone who's birth specific to take photos on our team.
What having somebody where like there's like uniquely qualified to do it. Yeah. I love that. I meant to tell you that when you came. I saw it because I think you were posting about like the new people on the team.
It's okay. I know it's a lot of growth this year.
Honestly,
there's a lot
to. Like every time I go on Facebook, it's like, oh, they got another one. They got like how many?
And another one.
Yeah. Well, okay. So new space, growing the team. Educationally. So I know you're doing the women panel, the women's panels. Is there like, and you have the child at the kitchen leading up to it, and then doing the women panels. Are there talks with, or actually I don't know, the women's panel, is that with the other people in this space, or is it like what's the kind of makeup of
so
it?
I co-host it with a chiropractor, nice. But the focus is actually on mothers.
Who's the chiropractor?
It's Caitlin with Radiance Chiropractic.
Gotcha. Cool. Very cool.
She's really great. And we hosted our first one this past month. Nice. And we asked a couple of mothers at different stages of pregnancy, breastfeeding, and motherhood to be on the panel. And it was like an open discussion. Yeah. And it's really cool because it's something I thought people would want like once a quarter. I didn't want to like overwhelm. And everyone who came was like, can we come again in 3 weeks? We're going to have more questions in 3 weeks. So I was like, sure.
I love that.
Let's plan that and make this a more regular thing. So that is definitely like a free option that we offer to our community, really to connect women, because there is nothing more powerful than connecting with other parents in the same phasing of life. And I don't know if you found that to be true, but
a little bit, yeah.
It's really nice to have other people to bounce off with. And look, if someone's had their kid in the last 5 years, it's great. But having someone who's actively doing the same phasing with you, that's really powerful. So we're going to be doing more events like that to bring our families together.
It's almost like you're not doing it alone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Who would have thought? Yes. Not doing it alone. That is a really big thing for us.
Yeah. What's really cool with that is that like the almost like the like initial like beginning of Greenville Doula Besties was like, hey, doula, right? And then there's like, hey, I think what you said earlier was like, we want to educate, and education is power, and like, which is, very true, like that. And then it's like, okay, hey, now we're going to kind of have these other things as well, and we really want to empower. We really want to kind of bring in these like photographer and chef and I want to say embalming, and that's not the right word.
Encapsulation.
I want to say embalming, like it's an EM word, and I want to say embalming, but I know embalming is not the right word.
That one took quite a turn.
Yeah.
That's on the other end of the circle of life.
Yeah. But encapsulation and photography and like having a really just awesome option for food, like all of these things. Hey, we want to kind of help kind of fill some of these needs we're seeing. And then now there's almost like this third layer of like, hey, not just education for like for our parents, for our
clients.
I would just say like I can't how you refer to them, how your clients, your parents, the people you guys are specifically working with. But hey, now we want to even take that a step out further than that, and now we just want to just help people. Like we just want to just and obviously the experience that you're going to get working one-on-one with you guys is probably going to be I'd say probably like a little more in depth and a little more personalized. But there's a ton of value at like every phase of that. You know what I mean? That's killer. Like,
thank you.
Yeah. And what's funny is like, again, like what you said, like the first thing that you said when you were talking about like how you got into it was like, you just wanted to serve people. It's really cool because I feel like now, like it's the people you guys work with specifically, but then there's this much wider reach now of like, hey, now it's just, even if you don't get to work with them, you know what I mean? Like, you still get to serve them and still get that. I love that. Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. That's so cool.
It is the best. Yeah. And also my favorite thing at this last motherhood panel was talking to women who were like exchanging numbers. They're like, I made a friend, like a genuine friend, not this like, oh, I met this person at this event, you know.
We follow each other on Instagram.
That kind of thing. And I had one, she was 2 weeks postpartum, showed up to our event.
Oh, wow.
And she was so excited. And she was like, I am so glad you did this. I don't have family close by.
She was in the group before they gave birth.
She worked with us, but then she came to our event.
Gotcha. Okay.
And she was 2 weeks post having a baby, and she was trying to build more of her postpartum village. And so she showed up. She felt really seen at the event, and then she came up to us afterwards. She's like, "This was so fun." I was like, "Did you get a phone number?" She's like, "Yes, I did."
Yeah.
And I don't know, that part. It makes all of it worth it.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, and then being able like I feel like there's like waves of impact there, you know, where it's like the people you guys work with, and then also kind of this wider reach. And then, so, oh man, I don't even know where to go. Like, I feel like, I don't know. That's just like talk about like business goals. You know what I mean? Like, that's so cool. Okay. I'm trying to think of how, I don't even know how I want to wrap this up, honestly, because I'm like, that's
I feel like we just get lost in conversation. We just kind of like float along, and it's really fun.
Yeah. Well, and then like, I mean, how does it feel to have like, I mean, I'm just going to say it. Like, how does it feel to have like what I like hearing you talk about wanting to be able to serve people, and then like the specific, like, seeing the, like, I think you said like the potholes, right, in the experience and stuff. Like, how does it feel to like 5 years in, you've got this killer freaking business that like is helping these people and also like helping you live out your dreams of being able to serve people and yeah.
It honestly just fills me with gratitude.
Yeah.
And it makes me super emotional. I think honestly, I've been working so hard in all the details that this is the first moment I've had to sit down and soak it in and realize that we built a community and that it's working and that it's helping people. And I don't take time to slow down and celebrate that much.
Hard to.
It is. But it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like being able to do this for the community I was raised into is just like an extra layer on top of just that. I love Greenville, and this is really beautiful that we can connect all these people.
Yeah. I don't know that I even, cause normally I would ask like, hey, what's like your piece of advice? But honestly, you gave a great one earlier. And that's usually how I've been ending these things. So I'm not really sure where to go. There is something I do want to ask, like, and I'm
sure ask.
I feel like it's going to make you emotional, and I'm not trying to make you cry.
Go for it.
When we were filming some content with you guys, I know there was an aspect of like why you were getting into this, or like it was like your mom's experience, right?
Yeah.
So like, just because I want to, like, that's my show. Have you like knowing like the experience your mom had, and then knowing like how many people like I think you said you 80 at this point, and then you guys are like 100 plus as a team. And like, how does it feel? I don't want to say making sure that those people didn't have your mom's experience, because I don't mean it in that way, but like, what does it mean to know that you've been able to kind of be that resource and empower those people to kind of help them have a different experience?
Wow, Dusty, way to pull it full
sorry,
circle.
I'm really sorry.
No, it's really, really cool because, believe it or not, hearing all the positive stories has been healing for my mother too.
Oh, is she like, well, I guess I'm sure you probably like talk about like what you guys are going, like,
yeah, not so much like specific birth experiences,
sure,
but she gets to hear all the wonderful things that we're doing and the positive experiences people are having and sharing. And it's really beautiful to see the blossoming there for my mom and what birth means to our family. And it is also really empowering to know that none of these women are going in alone. And that they feel like this experience is not being taken from them. And honestly, that they feel that there's a bridge between them and their providers, and that they don't feel scared when they're going in. That's everything. And my mom has been my biggest cheerleader through this whole thing. And that part of it, that is full circle. I haven't thought about that in a while either. That was
one of the things I think that stood out the most when was actually, you know what I realized is when we did those, there was just 3 of you guys. And now there's literally
6 of us.
Literally twice as many of you guys. Like, that's so cool. But yeah, that was just something that I just remembered when it was, or that I like stood out to me there. Cause like, I feel like kind of mirroring it with something I said earlier, like, that's the passion. You know what I mean? That's the like, hey, I'm not like, this isn't a paycheck. This isn't a like, hey, I had nothing else to do, so I'm going to do this. Like, hey, like there's a real calling here. There's a real like, hey, I really want to, like in your case, it's, hey, I really want to serve these people who are going through this very specific experience. You know what I mean? And I want to do it because I know someone who didn't have that, who didn't have a me, and I want to make that experience. I want to make sure that their experience is different. You know what I mean? Love that. Yeah. Okay. So where, and we'll put the like info up on the screen and stuff, where can people find out more about you guys, about the team, like get in touch with you guys? So
best way to get in touch with us is to go to our contact form on our website,
which is
doulabesties.com.
Okay.
Very easy. Which doula is DOULA,
perfect,
not DULA.
That will help later with the graphics.
Absolutely. doulabesties.com is the best way to reach us. And then we do have a business phone number for like text and calling.
Sure.
Our Instagram page is where we kind of update most of our events.
Okay.
So GVL Doula Besties.
Gotcha. Any underscore or anything? Or
nope, just that on Instagram. And we post events, educational materials there. We do fun stories sometimes with polls and, all the good stuff. But yeah, best way to get connected is reach out to us through our website and to come to our events. We love to see people. We're huggers too.
Gotcha.
You don't have to hug, but anyway, we love to be friendly. So
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being here. Guys, thanks for tuning in to Shelf Life, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out the Top Shelf Show. We hope that you walk away feeling inspired by the stories, by the lessons that these entrepreneurs, these business owners have learned and that they shared with us in this episode. We want to congratulate you in advance on the success that you're about to have in your own business, and we cannot wait to hear from you one day and possibly have you on the show. So be sure to check out the next episode, and as always, you can reach us on all of our social media platforms here. And thank you guys. We'll see you next time.